Hi, I'm Lieutenant Hannah Messier with the New England District Corps of Engineers. I'd like to give a Veterans Day shout out and go Patriots.
The U.S. House set to return to the U.S. Capitol in the next 24 hours or so in advance of a vote that would reopen the government. We, of course, will continue to have coverage on that throughout the day. In the meantime, let's take a quick check of the pre-market trading. As you can see here, only one bright spot. The Dow is up. The other two indices, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, not looking so hot at this very moment. Hopefully all of that will change when the markets open. We'll take you there here in short order. First, though, let's take you over to David Brody. David, good morning.
Good morning, T. Bates. All right, time now for our daily dose of dollars and common sense. We do it every day with American Sunrise Early Edition host, the guy behind Jake's Takes Substack. That would be Jake Novak. All right, Jake, let's start with some potential heat on JPMorgan Chase Bank and allegations that it may have broken the law. I guess this has to do with the Biden administration's Arctic frost investigation. Tell us more, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. The Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier announced yesterday that they're looking into whether Chase Bank, at the quiet behest of the Biden DOJ and Merrick Garland, froze out some of the Trump-owned businesses from getting any business done or loans or any kind of transactions done with Chase Bank. Now, you can't do that unless there's proof that someone is an actual criminal and has been convicted of such. And that wasn't the case. And you know exactly what the pitch probably was from the DOJ to Chase, saying like, well, those Trump people want to start that, they've got that True Social and things like that, and they're going to be spreading lies. And I don't want to know what will happen to you, Chase Bank. It would be a shame if something happened to your nice little bank here if we had to prosecute you for amplifying lies and dangerous information. That's exactly the pitch that they did to these folks. And if that's the case and Chase Bank complied with it instead of reporting it or pushing back on it, they may have committed a crime. So let's see how this shakes out. If I'm a Chase shareholder right now, I'm not loving this. I'm maybe going to that attorney general and saying, let's make a deal. We'll give you the info you want.
By the way, I'm not expecting you to know this, though you know all things. I mean, you just do. Do we know what the relationship with JPMorgan Chase Bank is with the Trump administration? I mean, are they working together at all on stuff, or do they have relations? I don't know. I mean, I was just curious about that.
You know, Jamie Dimon went from one of the louder critics of President Trump to, I wouldn't say a total supporter, but someone who speaks the truth to the people who have Trump derangement syndrome in the financial world and in the news media. And he started doing that before Trump was reelected. I got to note that. We should all note that. Now, whether he did that because Jamie Dimon is just a smart guy and usually is a straight shooter, or because he knew this was coming down the pike. But it's a good question, David. I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie Dimon is working with the Trump administration over this, specifically maybe even the Florida Attorney General, and might be helping out here, not just to save his own skin, but just to kind of get back at the pressure that they receive from the Biden team.
All right. Well, let's go from one really rich guy to another really, really rich guy. Lots of people just keep parodying the line that Warren Buffett is this great philanthropist. And it's a line that apparently grinds your gears. And yes, I said the words grind your gears today on the show, which I'm kind of happy about. Jake, tell us more.
That's right. We're all about modular technology and gears on this program. Tubes and gears. No, but, listen, again, let me just say this at first. I don't think that Warren Buffett is an evil man. I really don't know him personally anyway. But the PR coup this guy has pulled throughout his career, especially the last 30 years, is really a sight to behold. All billionaires should look at that and figure out what he did and try to copy it, because they don't always get such good PR. But one of the biggest lies about Warren Buffett, and it is a lie, is that he's so charitable. He's so philanthropic. Now, it's nice that he signed over a bunch of documents saying that his wealth is going to go over to some foundation. For all we know, that foundation's done nothing, by the way. But he is nowhere near a hands-on giver to charity by any means, even by the John D. Rockefeller standard or the Andrew Carnegie standard. And charity is something that you need to personally be involved in, not signing over to some foundation that maybe one day will get the money, that maybe one day will actually do something with it. You know, in religious law, charity is one of those things that you're supposed to just do. Don't just say a blessing before it. Right. Don't waste your time. He's waiting. He's basically going to be dead before maybe anything happens. I'm sorry. That's not charity. This is someone who could have opened a hospital a day in his lifetime. Did he do it, not do it? Okay, we don't have to judge him negatively because he didn't do that. But I'm not going to give him the Nobel Prize, which is what the media gives him, for being this Mr. Charity. He really hasn't done any hands-on charity stuff. Stop talking about him in that way. That's all I ask.
That is a great perspective. All right, Jake, we've got about a minute left here. So not everyone apparently is happy the shutdown is over, especially true for rental car companies. What is the reason for that? Now, this intrigues me, Jake.
Yeah, rental car companies are doing great during the shutdown because when your flights are canceled or delayed, a lot of people just jump to the rental car desk and drive the 500 miles or wherever they were going anyway, and it's a one-way rental where the rental companies really make money off you. Right? We don't return it to the point of origin. They ding you on that. Hertz made a lot of money over the last few weeks over that. Yesterday, when the shutdown was obvious it was going to end, Hertz shares went down when the rest of the market was going up. Hertz made its money. I'm not feeling sorry for them, but they're down. They were down yesterday because no more shutdown windfall for them.
By the way, the New York Jets, their stock is up 2 in a row. That's all I want to say. That's all I got to say.
It's been 23 days since our last loss.
Well, then again, there is the 24th day, so
it could happen anytime.
It's coming. Let's see if we're talking about that in the next 32 days. If the Jets have, all right. Anyhow, Jake, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Time for a Bears fan, Terrence in Denver, for the opening bell. Hey, you Bears are doing well. The Bears, sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
The only numbers that really matter, 6-3. Our record is just like the Detroit Lions. That's a little personal inside jab there. The applause is underway right now at the New York Stock Exchange, which means the bell is going to ring here in short order, and we'll get an idea of what the markets are looking like on this Tuesday of trading. Alto is at the podium, and just on cue, the bell is ringing, which means there are people scrambling on the trading floors trying to get those first sales in. And just like that, it looks like things are turning around a little bit. The Dow is up right now. The S&P 500, the only blemish on our board. The NASDAQ is now also a blemish. It's also in the red. The rest of the board looking pretty good, though, at the moment. We'll, of course, continue to monitor it throughout the day for you. In the meantime, there is more to come here on American Sunrise as our special Veterans Day coverage continues. First, though, here's a message from David Brody on what you need to know about crypto.
Trump Media just signed a massive $6.4 billion deal with Yorkville Acquisition Corp and Crypto.com, which is the crypto platform trusted by millions of users worldwide. They're teaming up to acquire up to $6.4 billion in CRO to establish America's first publicly traded CRO treasury, the Trump Media Group's CRO strategy. Once complete, this new company is going to be the largest publicly traded CRO holder out there. Well, if you're ready to join the crypto revolution, here's what you do. You head to crypto.com today and be part of this historic move. Once again, crypto.com. Do not wait. For more information on this proposed business combination, also check out Yorkville Acquisition Corp's public filings.